Hello, 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 and welcome to another episode of PARANORMASIGHT, The Mermaid's Curse. I always forget if it's The Mermaid's Curse or A Mermaid's Curse, but whatever. Been a while since I played this game. Like as of this recording right now, but yeah. Last time we were doing Discovering the Mermaids of Isabel, where we got a lot of lore information, which I probably can't recall in my head right now. Yeah. And then we unlocked this one, I think. Treasure Hunt Part 1. Arn of Barnum. Summary of previous events. After collecting information about mermaids and returning to the inn, Avi and Circe have a meeting to plan for their true objective, the treasure hunt. Probably a lot of more lore revelation. Date unknown. Toba City Ryokan guest room in the afternoon. Now then, I believe it is time we discuss our strategy. Sure? What do you mean by strategy? It should be obvious. We must reflect on all we've learned if we want to move forward. It seems to me she knows her fair share of both useful and useless facts. It's time we get down to business, though. What a nice room. I bet there must be somewhere exactly what you're thinking. Oh boy, this is a huge room. Goodness. I worried yesterday that Circe might struggle to sleep on just a futon in a tatami room like this, but she looks well rested, so I suppose she's used to it. I, on the other hand, was too excited to get much sleep. Oh, there's so much to choose from. Surroundings. This is the Mura Komote. It's a small inn located in Toba. It's a laid-back inn that feels more like a private residence than a hotel, thanks to the attentive staff. I could barely count all the different fresh fish we were served for dinner last night. I have not felt so full in a while. Atmospheric lighting. Extra lights for the room. A lot of attention was paid to creating a comfy atmosphere for the guests. Towel hanger. May resemble an L-shaped dividing screen, but I think this is actually a towel rack. Your clothes, it's a small clothes rack. I see, so that's what it is. Yes, normally it's used to hang kimonos, but this one is quite small, so I suppose it would work well for towels and other small garments. You're quite knowledgeable. Door. The door to our room. Outside is a hallway with a restroom and a wash basin for communal use. Guests place their shoes in the cubbies at the entrance and wear slippers while inside the inn. I like this rule with the shoes, actually keeping it nice and tidy for everyone. Yeah. Research materials. Some of the notes I've taken, the information in them is not substantive and likely of no use. Briefcase. My bag, a faithful travel companion of several decades. Window. Light is passing through the windows, it's hot outside, so I will leave them closed. Flowers. Dry flowers. I suppose this is the embodiment of the Japanese concept wabi-wabi, or however you say it. Waga-boogie. Wabi-wabi. Why is there so many details in this room? Hanging scroll. Hanging scroll perfectly complements the tatami room. This room may not have a dedicated alcove, but the scroll still really ties the room together. How lovely. What's this? Mosquito repellent. Each room is equipped with a mosquito trap. They tend to come through the windows on hot days. It It's a neat contraption. You just have to plug it in and place it, and it will kill any nearby mosquitoes. Traps like these are reliable, as well as easier and safer than the combustible type, so they've gotten quite popular. Is this really what people use? Or is this what people used in the 1980s? Because this is the timeline of this game. Telephone. This phone can only be used to call the front desk. Outside calls are impossible. I think this was everything in the room. Poster. This is a poster advertising the island of Kamishima. I would love to pay a visit to a remote island like that. The name is intriguing too. Ah, Kame means turtle, doesn't it? And Shima means island. It's a poster of Kamishima. Just can't shake this weird feeling. Huh? Why? Is there something wrong with the island or the poster? The poster, I believe. Do you mind if I take a closer look? My hunch was right. There's a presence here. No way. Come on, don't scare me like that. Mockingbird sticker? Remove the poster. Ready? Yes, please proceed. You're sure? Because I will do it. I really will. There's no telling what may happen. Quit stalling. Oh my goodness! Look! Mockingbird number 3 discovered! Oh my god, look how... his gold chain and his ragged feathers. And he seems like a troublemaker. What the... Mockingbird number 3. I can't believe it. Dawn Heron. It's the Dawn Heron. Don Juan. Blue hair. Oh my goodness. Nice. Very, very nice. Okay. I knew a Mockingbird sticker is somehow in here. Research materials. Ashtray. Porcelain ashtray that came with the room. Ashtrays like these are found just about anywhere, so one can smoke without any worries. That being said, I've noticed people outside still simply dropping their cigarettes onto the ground. Well, I wasn't a smoker to begin with. A map? A business card? Oh, is this the business card from the guy we met earlier? It is. We managed to glean some surprisingly good information from that exchange. First things first, let's head back to the inn. From there we can plan our next move. Pardon me, but would the lovely lady and handsome gentleman be willing to spare me a moment? Why yes, the gentleman does have some time. I suppose that makes me the lady then. Oh, it's you. Who? You've been following us for quite some time. Huh? Yes? For how long? Since the Isegrand Shrine, I believe. Truly, maybe you could try to keep me apprised of things like this in the future, sis. It appears I wasn't as stealthy as I thought. My apologies for the indiscretion. But you see, the two of you piqued my interest. Foreigners in Isa Bay are searching for mermaids. Gah! You heard everything? How embarrassing! Avi, hollering won't lessen the embarrassment. But how rude of me. I ought to introduce myself. I am an event planner here in Isa City. My name is Kipei Ikoma. Oh, a fancy business card and everything. What a charming fellow. Let's see, Sala planning, huh? And it says here you're the CEO. I'm actually the only employee, so the title doesn't mean much. I see. I apologize for the rudeness, but I actually just ran out of business cards of my own. Did you ever have any? I had heard you need to carry business cards in Japan if you want to avoid looking suspicious, but I still forgot to bring any. But the freewheeling and forgetful man before you goes by the name Arnav Barnum, a fantasy author who was merely passing through. Do you believe me, or am I too suspicious? Without a business card for proof, the verdict is yours alone to make. So you're an author, Mr. Barnum. Please call me Avi. This is Sus. She has studied more Japanese history than even the average Japanese citizen. It's a pleasure. If you'd like, I can list the top 100 of Ise's best features at any time. Aren't you a delight? I was right to take an interest in the two of you. Event Services Corporation CEO Kipe Ikuma. I don't know, he looks really slimy. Kipe Ikuma, Male Event Services Corporation CEO. 26 years old only? Really? Director of Sala Planning, an adventure company primarily focused on planning and producing tourism promotion events in Ise City. An ambitious young man, Kipe is both highly driven and extraordinarily tenacious when it comes to fulfilling his goals. He's currently planning a PR project themed on mermaids as a sightseeing attraction. About 6 years ago, with the support of wealthy tycoon Yoshiatsu Yamashina, Kipe moved to Ise from the countryside with nothing but the clothes on his back and an eye to making his fortune. This aggressiveness won him Yamashina's favor, and after several years spent building up experience as his assistant, the tycoon granted Kipe an investment with which he started his current company. Although Yamashina could be said to be particularly strict with him, this is a reflection of the high expectations he has for his future. Kipe is often told that he looks old for his age. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But as this means he is not taken lightly when doing business, he sees it as an advantage. Yes. Forgive me for my bluntness, but would you mind sparing me a few moments? I would love to talk a little longer. I suppose that could be arranged. And now we're in a different location altogether. I'm not sure if I should trust him. Entertaining weirdo might prove to be a pain. That said, it seems he's also interested in mermaids. Perhaps we could get some information out of him. Gusts of wind graced this lovely observation deck. I thought she was totally absorbed in our sightseeing, yet she noticed we were being tailed. Impressive, if I do say so myself. What do you think, sirs? Feels like a scammer who targets foreign tourists. Quite the blunt one, aren't you, young lady? What do you think? Feels like... Okay. So this young man is actually a CEO, though I'm not sure if I would call him young. His gaze has a piercing quality to it, and there is something off about his smile. Everything about him feels older than he looks. I believe these oversized suits, known as soft suits, are currently quite popular in Japan. Perhaps he's trying to be taken seriously as a CEO. He certainly is putting a lot of effort into his appearance. The truth is, I'm currently planning a promotional tourism campaign for the Iseshima region. I was thinking of using mermaid legends as the centerpiece of the campaign. Mermaids, huh? I'm sure you're already quite aware of the mermaid legends of Isabelle, yes? I thought we could hold events and exhibitions centered around such legends to attract tourists. I see, so that's why you were interested in mermaids. Additionally, the Iseshima region is also famous for its pearls. I believe mermaids and pearls naturally complement one another. True, there is also the famous legend that a mermaid's tears turn into pearls when they are washed away by the ocean. Oh, such a story would do wonders for driving tourism to the area. Does this project mean you are knowledgeable about mermaids in Ise then, Mr. Ikoma? I suppose it does. I know a fair bit. For example, there are some mermaid legends that most people have never heard of. Oh, do share. A long time ago, there was an island south of Kamishima known as Taishima. Have you heard of it? I'm afraid I haven't. It rings a bell. It was also called Taishima by some. That's absolutely right. It is said that once upon a time 3 mermaids lived on Taishima. Wow, 3 of them? Tell me, were they human mermaids or fish mermaids? Human mermaids? Well, I suppose their upper bodies were human, so I suppose you could describe them as such. I see, then that would separate them from the 3 mermaids discovered in Betsuho during the Heian period. Oh, this is the first I've heard of this tale. However, Taishima sunk about 400 years ago during a natural disaster. The mermaids seem to have vanished after that. What? That's such a shame. Regardless, it is said that 3 mermaids were named Sobae, Nagame, and Hayase. So the mermaids were named too, huh? That definitely adds to the authenticity of the story. Pardon me, Mr. Ikuma. Mr. Ikuma? I never came across such concrete information. Where did you learn this? I don't blame you for questioning my sources. I also haven't managed to find any records of this tale. You see, the story was passed on through word of mouth. As it turns out, there was a single man who managed to escape the island's destruction. His descendants have kept the legend alive. Aha, so it's one of those descendants you heard the story from. That's right, they live a modest private life these days. When the story comes straight from a descendant like that, it does lend it some credibility. If there really were mermaids on Taishima 400 years ago, then that could provide us valuable new information. Amazing, a brand new mermaid legend. The real question is why? Why? There's a long history of people making up legends to drive tourism. Such stories linger on despite their veracity being entirely unverifiable. I suppose. There's something the matter. It's nothing. It's nothing. We should take his tale with a pinch of salt until we can identify its source. Right. I would love to inquire deeper about these Taishima mermaids. If you don't mind, could you share the identity of this descendant you speak of? My apologies, but I'm afraid I cannot oblige. She is not the friendliest sort. Frankly, even I have trouble getting her to open up. Is she talking about the user mother? Mare Minakuchi. Probably, maybe? No matter how many times I visit her, I always feel like I'm only getting part of the story. I see, that's a real shame. Now, this may not be much consolation, but I have another interesting rumor from this descendant to share. Oh, I'm all ears. It concerns one of the rumored Taishima mermaids. It is said that a few decades ago, one of those mermaids turned human and now lives among us. No kidding. She became human? It does ring a bell though. Why, that is exactly like the story of the Little Mermaid. What an exciting discovery. When you say this was only a few decades ago, that makes it quite recent. This former mermaid could even be walking among the people here as we speak. If the story is true, then yes. However, I will concede that even I find the story hard to believe. It is a little fantastical. A mermaid who turned into a human. If that is true, things might prove difficult. By the way, may I ask why you're searching for Ise-based mermaids, Harvey? No particular reason, I just thought it would be fun to wander through some sightseeing areas related to the mermaid folklore, that's all. I see. Well, since you've traveled all the way to Japan to sightsee, I would love to ask you some questions. Was there anything missing from the areas you've visited that you think might have made your trip more enjoyable? What about those photo spots you put your face in? I know those, I love them. Really, are they that interesting? They are Japanese tourism classic. It would be nice to see more of them. Agreed. If I saw one, I would certainly take a photo with it. Oh, and please sell more of those little pennant flags. I can't resist them. I see. I truly appreciate the input, but perhaps things are fine as they are. Should you discover anything new regarding the area's mermaids, please let me know. Understood. We hope you'll do the same for us. Well, it is about time for us to get going. Yes, of course. Thank you, and I apologize again for taking so much of your time. Actually, since you've come all the way to Japan... If anything happens to you during your vacation here, or you need any other help at all, please feel free to give me a call. I'm quite familiar with all sorts of businesses in the area. For example, I could put you in touch with someone should you be looking to interview armor divers. Oh really? That's very kind. You're not just saying it as a formality, are you? A free-spirited lad like myself will not hesitate to take you up on an offer like this. I will call you. Please do not hold back. I will leave you to your sightseeing. Please have a good time. If mermaids really did live on Taishima, it's certainly worth investigating. Yeah. Okay. It's Ikuma's business card. He's the CEO of the event planning company we ran into earlier. Map. This map looks quite old. Exactly, it is also the precise reason I have come to Mie. To put it simply, this is no ordinary map. This is a mermaid treasure map. A mermaid treasure map. Allow me to explain. Why is this so weirdly blacked out? What? Talk about the map. I found this mermaid treasure map in the family storage. I should explain it to Sis. This is a sketch of the mermaid mummy that I found in our family storage. Bringing it along would have been out of the question, so I settled on just bringing a sketch. Oh, that's right. I still haven't told Sis why I'm searching for mermaids. Oh, talk about the mermaid sketch? Okay. Talk about the map. I found this map in the old family storage. It was left behind by my great-grandmother. If she's your great-grandmother, that would make her my great-grandmother's sister. If she's your great-grandmother, that would make her my great-grandmother's sister. I heard she was exiled from the Lunarlight family because of her eccentricities. That's correct. She was quite fond of the occult and amassed a number of suspicious curios over her lifetime. As a child, I loved searching through the storehouse that housed her collection. It was like a treasure hunt of wonders, a demon's tail, a yeti's bone, a book of black magic, Ogopogo's tooth, a piece of a UFO, a crystal skull. I cannot vouch that any of it was authentic, but it was still so exciting to look through. It's no exaggeration when I say that this very storehouse is what led me down the path of becoming a fantasy author. I suppose that's the kind of formative experience an occult writer needs. Just so, I have to thank my great-grandmother. She's the reason I can put food on my table. On the table. And among the items in that collection was this. I see, a mermaid mummy. Precisely, they were rather prevalent at sideshows and the like all over the world in the 19th century. Mermaid mummies from Japan were quite popular because of their high quality. A number of them even made their way to Europe. This one probably made its way to the family storage around that time. It was probably passed from one seller to another until it ended up in my great-grandmother's hands. How are you so sure it was made in Japan? Well, you see, I gave this mummy a thorough investigation. I even took it apart. Sure enough, it was made of wood and paper clay. But lo and behold, I also found this map inside. Truly, you found the map inside the mummy. Whoever made it all those years ago must have snuck the map inside. I doubt my great-grandmother had the slightest idea it was even in there. That's an incredible discovery. It is simply tantalizing, is it not? There's not a doubt in my mind that it will lead to a most thrilling discovery. So then, why did you call this a mermaid treasure map? Well, it was hidden inside a mermaid mummy, so it follows it must be a treasure map of sorts, no? I see, your enthusiasm has carried you quite a ways from home. I'm impressed. Thank you. I've no doubt our treasure lies somewhere in Ise Bay. What a shame there is no X to mark the spot. Indeed, and this leads us to our first conundrum. Any ideas how to decipher this map, sis? Put me on the spot, why don't you? But it does look like something is written here. Do you know what it says? Oh, that part. I actually did some research on that. Apparently it says, search the 95th. Huh? Okay. Search the 95th? That sure makes it sound like it leads to a secret location of some sort. Yes, and it must be related to mermaids. Aren't you just itching to find it? You know it. I knew it. I'm counting on you to help me solve the map's riddle. Oh, wait, I just remembered. You said you can dowse, no? Can't you just dowse for the treasure? Then we can skip this whole map and riddle business altogether. I apologize, but that's impossible. Truly, but why? Dowsing is usually used to find waterways, veins of ore and other such things. My dowsing, however, can be used to find people and objects imbued with a spiritual power. However, I must be familiar with the spiritual power that I'm looking for. I see. In other words, you wouldn't be able to find a treasure you've never seen or heard of. Yes, the distance from which I can detect the source also depends on how strong the spiritual power is. It's not quite the superpower I thought it was. I say we've had enough of a diversion. Let's get back to investigating your map. Let's get back to investigating your map. Let's take a good look. Okay. What about talk about the mermaid search? To be frank, I didn't just come here to solve the map's riddle. My real goal is to find an actual mermaid. Oh yes, I had a feeling that was it. So you already knew. Exorcists sure have some keen instincts. What will you do if you find a mermaid? Do you want to become immortal? I suppose. Might as well, considering all the trouble finding one will be. Your reasoning is unexpectedly uninspired. Simple though it may be, I find the idea quite romantic, akin to ascending to a new stage of humanity. Sure, I guess. I take it you disagree with my thinking, sirs. I fail to see why my opinion should matter here. What you do is your decision to make. Though I am not certain that an immortal can still be called human. Still, your decision is irrelevant to my duty, so I will not try to interfere. Actually, meeting an immortal would be a rare, once-in-a-lifetime chance. Please transcend humanity and let me examine you. I would prefer if you didn't speak of me like a research specimen, but I will overlook it for now. Though I do wonder if immortality would actually bring you any happiness. When you look at old folk tales, it tends to be less of a blessing and more of a curse. Jeez, don't say that after I already made up my mind and everything. Well, I'm sure you'll be alright. If you tire of immortality, you need only embark on a journey like a modern-day Yao Bikuni. That is one way to look at it, though I think the nun part might be an issue. Well, I shouldn't get too far ahead of myself. There's no immortality to be had till I find mermaid flesh to bite into. So let's start there. Understood. I'm also quite interested in finding a mermaid myself. Searching just for a mermaid meat alone seems like a waste. Agreed, the best way to go about this would be to find a living human mermaid. And I have no doubt that this map will lead us to a place that's related to mermaids and immortality. This is quite exciting. No, this is what I call a true adventure. No matter the era, there's nothing better than a quest for the unknown. Okay, then let's take a look at the map. Oh, did you notice something? It looks like something's written on the other side. I see, I knew I must have missed something. I should carefully hold the edge when I want to look at the other side. What the hell is this? Look, he even has hair on his hands. Map writing. Turn it over. The phrase "Search the 95th" is written on the map around the location of Ise province. It's a map of Ise Bay, judging from its condition. It is quite old. If I were to guess, I would say it is over 100 years old. No, perhaps even more than 200 years old. I wonder how old it really is. Look closer, isn't that Taishima? You're right, it depicts an island to the south of Kamishima. It's safe to assume this map was made before Taishima sank then. That makes it over 400 years old, and made during the Sengoku period. Incredible. Turn it over. Whoa. Spots. Is this like, do you have to connect the dots? Then in the middle is the treasure? I don't know, I'm probably thinking too simplistic, but I don't know. Take a close look at all the spots on the back of the map. Oh, those. I dismissed them as a bunch of stains. Do you really think that's all they are? Something about those spots feel familiar. Oh, yeah, it was a while since I played the game, but is this about the stars? Well, we had this whole episode about the small stars and the large stars and the constellations and... Yeah. Eureka! Inspiration strikes. I figured it out. It's a bit hard to see what you mean when looking at the back of the map. Can you point at the front? You make a fair point. I may be less inspiration struck than I first assumed. I'll have to think on this a bit more. Eureka! Inspiration strikes again. I figured it out. Did you? Where is the treasure? Point at the location on the map. Where I actually have to, like... I'm pretty sure this is related to the stars, but man, I forgot everything. Summer try. Yeah, right? Could be. This really looked like it. How to find the summer triangle is visible in the sky almost directly overhead around August. Well, this doesn't really help. I mean, I guess it would be on Taishima or Kamishima still. It should be around here in the middle. Middle-ish. So I would assume here. I have no doubts. It is here. Behold. Oh, huh? Right there. It felt right. I hope you don't mind me asking, but would you care to show me a more definite location? Dang it. Maybe less inspiration struck than I first assumed. I will have to think on this a bit more. Okay. Maybe here? Sneezing. Eureka. It may be tough to figure it out as it is now unless you find a way to shine some light on the riddle. Shine some light on the riddle? Oh. Oh. I see. The 95th. Wait, let me... Is it one of those points? Was this the only Summon Shrine? Right. I am on fire now. No more mistakes from me. Have you figured it out? Maybe here? Oh, and what makes you say so? Why, it is simple. This very spot marks the answer to our riddle. Enter the name of the location. Tai Shiva? This is the first time I'm pretty clueless. Oh, seriously? I can't imagine that's actually Tai Shima. Maybe less inspiration struck than I first assumed. I'll have to think on this a bit more. Oh, god damn it. Mir Prefecture. Iseshima. Ise Bay. Right. Ise City. Futamigaura. Toba City. Ijika Town. Mount Azama. Tsu City is there. Betsuho. Ano Town. Kamishima. Yeah, the Turtle Island. Is it like Kamishima? Yes, the map is very lovely and see-through. Are you sure that's the spot, though? So this is right. This bottom part. Oh, what is the name of the bottom part? Cape Dio. Ryugu. Taira no Tatamori. Cookie Princess Hatsune. Oh man. Summer Triangle, Altair, Hikoboshi. Vega and Altair are also said to represent Orihime in Hikoboshi. It's difficult with controller. Yeah, let me point to that. Enter the name of the location. I still don't know the name though. Hikoboshi? Okay. Allow me to explain. You see, the 95th in the riddle must refer to the 95th tale in the Tales of Ise. Really? The Tales of Ise. Episode 95, Hikoboshi. Oh. Having fallen in love with a woman who serves in the imperial court, a man finally manages to meet her after patiently waiting for the right moment. However, the two are still separated by a screen. The man recites a poem to her, proclaiming that his love for her is greater even than Hikoboshi's love for Orihime. He compares the screen separating them to the Milky Way that separated the two legendary lovers. Moved by his words, the woman removes the screen, allowing them to finally meet face to face. And the title of that tale is none other than Hikoboshi. Next, note how the Summer Triangle constellation is drawn on the back. The location of Hikoboshi or Altair corresponds to this very spot on the map. Incredible! I should have expected nothing less. You truly are a genius, Avi. Huh, nothing compares to the rush of a breakthrough. Let's keep riding this high. Solve the mystery of the map as Arnold Barnum. Avi's a genius. Achievement. I don't know. I felt really stupid. Figured out where the treasure lies. I'm quite keen to investigate further, but I should confirm some other matters first. Even if we were to search the area on the map, it's in the middle of the sea. How are we supposed to search a place like that? Looking for an unknown object somewhere on a large swath of seafloor seems like an impossible task. You're right, that does sound difficult. We might have to ask our friendly CEO for help. He did give us his card. However, wouldn't that mean we would have to inform him of the map? No other way about it. In addition, should we find anything, I imagine he will expect a share of the spoils. I really want to keep it all to myself. Sharing is the worst. I understand, but we have no other options. It's a shame, but I suppose you're right. We should contact him as soon as you can. Oh. A new intersection Treasure Hunt Part 2 story. Treasure Hunt Part 1. I want to find the real mermaid and become an immortal. Avi shares his true objective with Circe and starts to take action. While going over his information in the inn, Avi deciphers his mermaid treasure map and is led to a place in Easy Bay. Nice. Okay. I'm not sure how to feel about the Arn of Barnum route so far. This is the most difficult to digest, I think. Especially because it's just lore on top of lore on top of lore. But yeah, I will try to be open-minded about it, and then we'll see how and where this goes. And we end the episode with... Oh yeah! Dawn Heron, Mockingbird number 3, Grey Heron, the maverick leader of the tight-knit delinquent crew Rebels Roost. Temperamental by nature, he often flares the impressive crest on his head to intimidate intruders on his turf. Although long-term rivals with the Ocean Outlaws hooligan gang, in recent days he's also found his feathers ruffled by the increasingly bold antics of Blue's brutal beaks, pushing his patience to the limits. Ruffled feathers. And with that I say goodbye, thank you for tuning in, and I will see you pretty soon. Bye bye. Bye bye.